Hey guys, welcome to Questionable Lock. This is a segment just focusing on the recent Cardinals acquisition of J.J. Watt, how that affects the NFC West. Seb, let's talk real fast. NFC West, what's this division looking like now? This is a big defensive division, especially on the defensive line.
Yeah, so like you said, defensive line, Aaron Donald, as we know, Rams, probably the best player in the league, defense or offense, just the attention he draws. Nick Bosa up there with the 49ers, and now we get J.J. Watt coming into that Cardinals team who, kind of met or, didn't really exceed expectations last year, obviously with that much talent. It's going to be a battle, though. The NFC West already a battle, and you add a guy of J.J. Watt's caliber for, 16 mil, I believe?
Yeah.
16 mil, something like that. So, two Texans coming over there. We'll see what they can do for Arizona. But, what do you think in terms of, is J.J. Watt as good as Aaron Donald and Nick Bosa still? Does he still have it?
Well, I think the argument can't be made there, especially just with the youth of Aaron Donald and especially Nick Bosa. But this definitely adds a necessary piece to a team that was looking on the outside of the playoffs last year. Definitely looks like they can break into the wild card, at least, depending on who wins the division. Obviously, Rams making some big moves, acquiring Stafford, and Seahawks. Questionable stuff going on there. We will talk about that in 1 second. But what do you think about J.J. Watt saying in his message to come to the Cardinals? He's saying to Kyler Murray, "I believe in you." That is why he is here. What do you think that Kyler needs to do to make this team into a winning playoff team?
Well, I think, people were saying, I thought J.J. Watt wanted to win. He's going to go to the Cardinals. Like you said, he trusts Kyler Murray. He trusts their offense. That wasn't really the issue for them last year. I think it's on Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury to have an above 500 season, to do something with that. I think Kyler benefits from another year, just getting older, getting more used to playing in the NFL. But we've seen how explosive he is. I think now he can have a little more trust in his defense, maybe can be a little more conservative with the ball, something like that, I guess, to give them more of a chance. But they don't want him to change the way he plays. And I think that, this just gives their team a confidence boost, a momentum boost, motivation boost when you get a guy like J.J. Watt saying that you want to come and play for you.
Yeah, 100%. How this changes the NFC West moving forward, we will see. But in other NFC West related news, we have Russell Wilson's camp reportedly very frustrated with how the Seahawks have built this team around him. This team has basically lacked an offensive line, a competent offensive line for the past 3 or 4 seasons. Definitely having trouble getting back to that Super Bowl status they once had after that brutal loss to the Patriots. What do you think the expectation is for Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson when this is inevitably worked out, I would assume, for this season?
Do you think that Russ is going to stay? Do you think? Yeah,
I don't think a 70-year-old Pete Carroll is in the mood to rebuild. I don't think that Russell Wilson necessarily has any form of leverage other than demanding a trade, but he hasn't come out and said, "I outright demand a trade." I think this is just a ploy to get maybe some pressure on the organization to maybe finally build a competent offensive line. They have the receivers. They have DK.
Yep.
They got him 2 years ago.
Tyler Lockett.
They have the necessary pieces receiving. They have Chris Carson at running back. I think they should go out and try and get someone like Joe Thornley from he's leaving the Patriots, I think. Hopefully I'm not wrong on that. But he's one of the best guards in this free agency class. I think that that's important. I also don't think that the face of the Seahawks should leave the Seahawks. I don't know what – if you're really trading him, you could get so many assets back, but they're not rebuilding. They're in the playoffs every year. Yeah. Do you believe in the statement that if the Seahawks don't make it to the conference championship this season for the NFC, their season is a bust?
I think from the Seahawks point of view, yes.
From a fan point of view.
From a fan point of view, or from, within their organization, yes. But from our point of view, with that division and with the Rams and the Cardinals and the Niners still there, I think they're going to get beat up in the regular season. And it's going to be really tough for them to, even get a playoff spot. If we see what we saw last year, what we saw in the playoffs, even with Russ just running for his life every play. But I think that I don't know. It's hard to, they're saying conference championship would be anything before that would be a bust. I think it's good to have those expectations, but from my point of view, like you said, if they don't do anything to change it, then what do they expect different to happen?
Yeah, 100%. I do agree with you there. But for the last segment of the show, if you could see Russ on any other team but the Seahawks, where would you put him? Where do you think he would best succeed / win a Super Bowl next?
So I'm gonna go from the list that he allegedly said he would get traded
which is Chicago, Dallas,
Saints,
and maybe one more team.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Saints. I think, the Bears. I think have it ready to go. I think Deshaun Watson to the Bears would be perfect. Great look for both of them. I think Russell Wilson could obviously go into any team and be successful just because of the talented guy that he is. But I think, you give him the offensive weapons that the Saints have, and the confidence they have. They already know, Sean Payton, a great coach. They know how to get it done. They know how to do it. They know how to protect their quarterback, a guy like Drew Brees, who is not super mobile, not super big either. I think him going to the Saints could be a big move. And I like Russell Wilson. I don't necessarily like the Saints, so that might be a little tough. But
if the Saints could somehow salvage the maybe $1 million in cap space they have, then he would be great to see Russ in that uniform. I just don't think it's realistic enough. I think Russ to the Cowboys, maybe a little Dak swap. Someone's calling me. Would not be too bad. But other than that, I think he's staying with the Seahawks, and we look forward to seeing him there in that uniform. Hopefully in the Super Bowl one day. We love Pete Carroll, fight on, but he's 70 years old. He's not looking to rebuild.
Yeah, if they get rid of him, they could. If it comes down to it, are you going to keep Pete Carroll or are you going to keep Russell Wilson? Like, if that's the issue right now, where
Pete Carroll doesn't want to do it, that wouldn't be the issue.
But if Pete Carroll isn't doing this, he's not signing the guys. Pete Carroll keeps saying we're going to run the ball more next year or whatever. Like, you got to make a decision at some point.
If I'm Pete Carroll, I say if Russ is gone, I'm gone. That would be my mantra for it.
I'm sure he would love that. Just retire. Don't have the best quarterback. I'm out.
Come back to SC and help us out. For that is the end of this segment. Hopefully you guys can pitch in, throw something in the comments, a little engagement. Tell us where you would want to see Russell Wilson if he wasn't in a Seahawks uniform. And as always, I'm Carson Marsh.
Sebastian Atashi.
Make sure to tune into our Twitter, website, questionablelock.com, and all the above. Thank you, guys.